What's going on, guys? Counselor back here with another video handling the outdoor elements here. We got some wind here, we got some sunshine, but I wanted to sit outside. I like doing these outdoor videos, just a lot more fun, relaxed, getting that vitamin D, getting that sunshine in here in the off season. I've got a very important video here for you. We are talking about striking gold in the mid rounds for fantasy football 2024 because, to be honest with you, those first couple rounds are important, but sometimes, actually not sometimes, a majority of times, the leagues are actually won in the later rounds. For example, Laporta last year, everybody was off him except me. I know I keep bragging about the Laporta stuff, but it's just facts, okay? You guys got to think outside the box, got to look at the depth charts, you got to look at guys that are emerging or guys that are in a position to really emerge. So I've got 4 players here for you guys. Count them, 4 players that you can strike gold with in the mid rounds that I like for absolute value. I mean, the value is amazing. I mean, these guys are completely being slept on. You can call them sleepers if you want, but I just say striking gold. I think they're absolute gold in mid rounds, okay? If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys tap it, slap it, smash it, hit that thumbs up. Really helps the channel. Guys, lion mentality, hit the thumbs up. And also, if you haven't gotten 16 rounds, I give you all the answers: sleepers, breakouts, optimal players. Let's find this year's Laporta. I'm going to help you guys do that in the 16-round draft, which I'll give you guys as close to a bulletproof roster as possible. Grab 16 rounds. You'll literally be light years ahead of the consensus, the consensus, and all your league mates. All the sheep in your league, they won't even know what hit them. Okay, guys? Grab 16 rounds. All right, let's talk about it. Again, smash it, tap it, slap it. I cannot emphasize enough. I'm an independent, guys, and I don't have a 4-letter network backing me. It's just me, army of one, but I do it the right way. I don't have any puppet strings behind me. I do it the right way. I don't need a corporation to tell me what I can and cannot say. So if I think a player sucks, I'll tell you. So guys, help the channel out. Hit the thumbs up and grab 16 rounds. Help support the channel. And I'm delivering on a high level in 16 rounds. And also grab a ticket to the Sports Summit upon checkout. We got Kyron Williams, we got Trey Benson, we got Pat Fryermuth, Rashid Shaheed, and more coming to the Fantasy Sports Summit, including one of the players today I'm going to mention here on the notes, okay? So grab a ticket to the summit, grab a ticket to 16 rounds, smash thumbs up. First player, let's dive into it. Again, we're contending with a little bit of wind here, but I do have the windscreen protector here on the mic. It's a pretty high quality mic for the size. It does a good job. Hopefully the sound quality is good. I'm all about sound quality in video, but sometimes I like to sit outside. Today happens to be a windy day. First player, let's dive into it. Striking gold mid rounds. Love him. Love the upside. Personally, I don't have any stock in him in the Dynasty League that I just drafted. There goes the bucket behind me. I got the kids' sand buckets behind me here. You can hear them in the background. Listen, I just did a Dynasty draft. I don't have stock in him, but the guy I'm talking about is George Pickens. Listen, this guy was a round 2 pick by the Steelers, entering his 3rd season. He's got all of the skill set. He's a great route runner. He's got good hands, and he's got that amazing line mentality. Because I remember last year he wasn't getting the ball. He was like, "Give me the ball, man. I'm a good receiver." Like, this guy wants the ball, and he finally has 2 quarterbacks that are pretty decent enough to compete to actually give him the ball. So he's got Russell Wilson, and he's got potentially Justin Fields, who Justin Fields just came out and I heard he said he doesn't want to be on the bench all season, okay? So that's one thing, just cleaning some dust off the screen here. So again, it's like he's got good quarterbacks. Russell Wilson's got somebody breathing down his neck. He's got to feed George Pickens. Now, last year, 106 targets, 63 receptions, over 1,000 yards, 1,140 yards, 5 touchdowns. Way more ceiling to be had for George Pickens. 87 freed up targets with Deontay Johnson gone, making Pickett the one. They drafted Roman Wilson. He could be a sleeper as well, but as of right now, the way that it sits, George Pickens is the wide receiver 1. 5 touchdowns last year receiving. That's only going to go up. So listen, he's great value. He's coming off rounds 5 to 6. And there is a ton of depth, not only at running back this year in mid-rounds, I'll give you one coming up, but also at wide receiver. There's a ton of depth at wide receiver, and he's a wide receiver you can get mid-rounds that could absolutely finish top 10 potential. Am I over the moon excited? You know, based on his first 2 years, not much. I think he had 800 yards receiving the first year, and again, 1,140 the second year. But he finally has decent quarterbacks that can throw the ball to him, can get the ball to him. Deontay Johnson's gone. Again, clearing the way for a wide receiver 1 path. So based on paper, he is set to have himself a really good year. George Pickens, okay, rounds 5 to 6 ADP. You could be striking gold with him as your wide receiver 1 mid-rounds, okay? The next guy, He's coming to the Fantasy Sports Summit. If you haven't got your ticket, grab it below. You have a chance to ask him questions. We'll try to get as many questions as we can asked to these NFL players that are going to be at the summit. It's all done online, guys. It is a virtual summit. And so make sure you guys do grab your ticket. But Tajae Spears, guys, is the man that's going to be at the summit. And I think he's mid-round gold. Listen, he's sitting as RB 28th. Okay? Listen, this is crazy. I think he finished as RB 34 last year. So again, they kind of spiked his value up like 6 spots. I mean, he's got way more ceiling than that. Tajae Spears is sitting at RB 28 right now, guys. We're talking immense value for the RB1 on his team. Listen to this. I'm going to go over some stats here with you, okay? 280 attempts are freed up. Last year, he had 100 attempts, 454 yards, 4.5 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. The man still had 52 receptions, 385 yards receiving with Derrick Henry there. 280 targets are freed up. This guy was a 3rd-round pick and drafted to be the replacement of Derrick Henry. The more and more I talk about him, the more and more I get excited about Tajae Spears. They brought in Pollard, but Pollard sucks. Pollard sucked because he couldn't beat crappy old Zeke, right? He couldn't beat him for the starting spot. And when he actually had an opportunity to be the starter, when they shipped Zeke off, right? The Cowboys are crazy. Worst organization, I would say, right now are the Cowboys. Terrible. The one position they needed to address was running back, and they bring in Zeke back. It's ridiculous. Zeke sucks. He is absolutely, when I say absolutely terrible, I mean like absolutely terrible. He's one of, if not the worst running backs in the NFL is Zeke Elliott, okay? So I look at a guy like Tajae Spears, and I'm looking at a guy like Tajae Spears, I'm saying to myself, he is the replacement. He was drafted in the 3rd round. Yes, they brought in Pollard, but Pollard was sucked. He had the opportunity last year and he crapped the bed. So I'm looking at Tajae Spears. I'm saying amazing value this year, immense value, and he's going to get a ton of volume. I'm not concerned about Pollard. Tajae's the one. And the thing is, Pollard's coming off as RB 24. They got him listed as 24, and Tajae is listed as RB 28. So they think Pollard's the one, which is crazy. Tajae's the one. I don't care what they're paying Pollard per year. Okay, so Tajae, love him, upside, RB 28th, finishes RB 34 last year, 280 targets, attempts are freed up. He's the man. Pollard was drafted in the 4th round by the Cowboys in 2019. Tajae was drafted in the 3rd round by the team that he's actually still on. He's going to absolutely thrive this year. Okay, 2nd year. All right, next guy here. Absolute mid-round gold. I love him. I've talked about him in other videos. I'm going to continue to talk about him. Is Keon Coleman. Top wide receiver prospect out of this draft. Drafted in the 2nd round, 33rd pick overall. Absolutely love myself some Keon Coleman. And the amazing thing is his ADP is going to completely rise. Completely is going to shoot up. He's sitting at around 8 to 9, which is ludicrous considering people were paying 1st or 2nd round pick last year for Stephon Diggs. Keon Coleman is young, he's dynamic, he's personable, he's funny, all these videos coming out with him. Dude, he is a character. He's awesome. And they only brought in Curtis Samuel, who I don't think he's ever had a 1,000-yard receiving season. Sucks. Khalil Shakir, I mean, I'm not holding my breath for Shakir to do something. Keon Coleman is amazing. Potentially could be the wide receiver 1 there. I think he is going to be the wide receiver 1 there. Amazing upside. 160 targets are freed up with Diggs gone. 81 targets are freed up with Davis gone. Dude, this is a steal. You're striking gold with Keon Coleman. I mean, just for the value alone, right now sitting around 8 to 9 ADP, that's going to shoot up. Guys, I love Keon Coleman. Sign me up on all my teams. He got sniped in the Dynasty League that I'm in because what happened was I went Brian Thomas Jr. because if you look at their ADPs, particularly when I was doing this draft about a week ago, Brian Thomas was like, I don't know, 15 players ahead of Keon Coleman. And I got Brian Thomas because I went running back heavy early. So I'm like getting my wide receivers later. So I went Brian Thomas and then I'm like, okay, there's like at least 10 to 15 players, wide receivers in between. There's no way Keon Coleman's coming off because I was drafting 6, so there's 12 picks in between. I'm like, I'm getting him coming back. So I wish I kind of had Keon Coleman over Brian Thomas. I think they're both going to do well. I think there's a little more upside, a little more ceiling for Keon, more volume potentially, but again, I missed out on him, and he was drafted, I think he was like in the 6th, 7th round or something. He came off really, really early, and it's a Dynasty League, so these guys are hunting out rookies. Absolutely crazy, but love Keon Coleman. You are striking fantasy football gold with him, especially his ADP. Look for it to rise as we get closer to the season. As of right now, in May, round 8 to 9, okay? And the last one is a quarterback. Love this guy, and I'll tell you why. You guys got to listen why. Before I get into it, again, smash it, tap it, slap it, hit that thumbs up, helps the channel. And of course, guys, grab the 16-round draft solution. I've linked it below. You'll be light years out of the competition and grab a ticket to the summit. Also, I'm also doing direct coaching to see if you guys want direct access to me. There's a direct coaching link. You can book a time. That time is going to be booked up. Depending on when your draft is, I have my set hours there. Half an hour call will get you straightened up for your draft. Okay, guys? So direct coaching is available as well. The last guy, the last sleeper here, last gold guy is Justin Herbert. This guy finished 17th last year amongst quarterbacks. Currently sitting, QB 15. So, guys, this is crazy, okay? What I love about him, and I'm going to talk about his wide receiving core in another video, but it's just wild. There, Ladd McConkey, who's kind of slated as the one. They got Brendan Rice, who could be the one. Quentin Johnson could come back and emerge if given the volume. It's a disaster that we don't, again, so much uncertainty at who the one is, and you're kind of playing like, wide receiver, you're kind of taking chances here with drafting those wide receivers, but Ladd should be the one. Still more to come, still analyzing that situation. But either way, it works into his favor because they finally got him some good weapons. Brendan Rice, drafted in the 7th round, has got a chip on his shoulder, son of Jerry Rice. He's on that team. They got Quentin Johnson, also chip on his shoulder, coming in. He was, everybody made fun of Quentin Johnson. What can I tell you? He was a first-round pick, didn't do anything last year. He had brick for hands. His hands were like bricks. So hopefully he has a chip on his shoulder to make up for that. Either way, these wide receivers are hungry. Ladd McConkey, good route runner, smooth, quick, explosive. Justin Herbert has the weapons. That's number one, why I love him. Number two, he's coming off in round 7. Amazing value, guys. He had his lowest of low years last year. Lowest of low. It was his lowest in touchdowns. He had 20 touchdowns last year. Lowest in yardage, 31-34, just over 3,000 yards. Guys, that is not Herbert numbers, okay? And lowest in his attempts, 456. If you go to his pinnacle year, remember I said 456 attempts. This guy's a 672 passing attempt quarterback, 5,014 yards and 38 touchdowns compared to his 20 last year. He had a down year. What can I tell you? It happens. That offense was messed up. Keenan Allen sucked. He's washed. He was force-feeding Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen was hurt the last 3 games of the season. Herbert missed a couple games as well. It was a down year, and now he's ready. He's ready to go, man. He is primed. And here's the cool thing. You can get him as your backup quarterback this year, after you anchor a better quarterback or a more secure quarterback. Justin Herbert bounces back this year in a strong way. He's going to be in my bounce back episodes as I start doing those. Guys, you are striking quarterback gold here, round 7 to 8. People are absolutely sleeping on him based on last year. Finished 17th amongst quarterbacks. Now he's being slept on. He's QB 15. This guy's a top 5 quarterback. It's a no-brainer, okay? Anchor your team with today's quarterback. Justin Herbert bounces back for all the reasons I stated, all right? Does it make sense to you guys? Slap it, tap it, smash thumbs up, guys. I appreciate you. And I'm going to keep the content rolling for you, okay? Striking gold in those mid-rounds because that's how you can potentially win your league. If you want all the sleepers, all the breakouts, all the optimal players as this wind is intensifying here, subscribe, thumbs up. Get 16 rounds. You'll be light years ahead of the sheep. All right, guys? I appreciate you. We'll talk soon, guys. Strike gold those mid-rounds. These guys are primed to have an amazing year for everything that I stated. All right? We'll talk soon, guys. Lion mentality. I'm out.